Herzlich willkommen zu unserer 41. Podcast-Ausgabe von Chat with Funky Space. Ja, liebes Space Radio, herzlich willkommen hier an meinem Wohnzimmertisch, mitten im Juli, mitten im Hochsommer. Es ist heiß draußen, die Sonne brennt wirklich in den Raum herein und wir sitzen hier. Und ich bin so gespannt, was heute nach unserer letzten Ausgabe wurde so viel über die innere Entwicklung, über das innere Wachsen berichtet, was nun als nächstes uns zuteil wird durch Milady, die neben mir sitzt und sich tief einmittet, und ich merke bereits, es wird nur noch einen kurzen Augenblick dauern, dann dürfen wir das Space Radio willkommen heißen. Genau.
Yes, hello Space Radio, hello again, nice to talk to you.
Ja, herzlich willkommen zurück.
Yeah, thank you so much, and nice also to talk about frequencies which are like, it's like, let me say like that, your world likes to have surprises, but the surprises always needs to be positive. And the surprises needs always to be something...
das ist der Wunsch.
Yes, in a grateful way for everybody, or not for everybody, because they are people, they talk about surprises and they mean something in the negative way, and they are people, they love to make and give and go on with surprises the positive way. So now it is the question, what's positive and what's negative in your eyes, and what's good and what's bad, and what you mean also with surprise or not surprise.
Ja, es liegt im Auge des Betrachters, so ein bunter Strauß. Und die Bewertung, die hängt bei uns ein bisschen manchmal gerne nach, weil wir durch diese Negation oder durch den Schrecken meinen, dass wir einen Schaden erleiden oder nicht weitergehen können. Und das Gegenteil ist der Fall.
Or it is also, let me say, well organized by frequencies are just telling. But the thing is, if you can't transform frequency into words, you don't understand why things have to be like that. So the place where you're living and the place where you're let me say, surprised. If you have snow already in September or starting October, and in your places or in your area, and you're surprised if you have snow also at the beginning of May. So it is something that this surprise is something like, okay, you can't just go on with the day or with driving a car. Yes, because you're surprised. Exactly, because you're surprised that it's not, in the matter of when you need the snow. You're surprised when you don't have snow in winter or in December, or if you don't, it is like the surprise can be looking at it the positive way or the negative way. So now it's not to talk about the weather, but now it's talked about what are the next surprises for you. So what is just the plan, so you are in the year 2025 and you want to know, the surprises in the world the positive way, because sometimes it's like that you understand the speeches of being something negative for the world, but it's not negative. It is just to understand that things are changing, and they are changing like they have to change, and that's the point. Things have to change like they have to change. And to declare something as positive or negative, it's not in the meaning of, or in the speech of a human being, because it is at the right time, at the right place, in the right order. But now, what's in the right place and at the right time and in the right order? So to talk about ice, and I need to speak about ice. In your world, you considered to the southern part of your hemisphere. Well, no, not the southern part, but the south. How you call it? The south region and the north region. That there must be ice, and it must
die
be
Pole.
Yes, and
die
it must be
Erdpole.
always ice. That animals can live there, and you're surprised if the ice is getting, let me say, smaller.
Ja.
And you're surprised
was der Fall ist.
Yes, and you're surprised about the sea getting higher, and getting more water, and you're surprised that it's melting.
Ja.
And you're surprised also that on mountains, on top of the mountains, many ice places and ice is just melting away. And we spoke in the last episode of the podcast, we spoke also about, the inner circle of the understanding of things in your world, also of nature. And now we want to talk about the ice formation in your world. So you had, since your world is existing, many periods where you had at different places ice, and you had also a different size of that ice.
Yeah.
And what right now is just left on some places is just the last ice of some of those periods. And let me say, for you as human, you are knowing it just like it needs to be like that, because it was always like that, and it surprises you if the seas are going up and if you have just different problems. You're surprised about that.
Ja,
but you didn't
außerhalb der Normierung.
Yes, but you didn't ask nature if in general for nature it has a sense why it must be like that.
Ja, die natürliche Orchestrierung, sage ich mal, der Natur.
Exactly.
Die da drin zutage tritt.
Yes, you are defining a changement of nature as something surprisingly it goes that way. But who says that it must be surprisingly?
Das sind wir.
You're not
so einfach.
Exactly. Yeah. To understand the natural flow in what nature has to be go on forwarding for the let me say next evolution step, it has its rights to surprise human beings because it has the right to form itself differently.
Oh yeah.
And now this is something.
Was ein Wunder.
Yes, and now you're looking at it so the painful way, it must be like that, because if we don't have that island, we don't have this house, and we don't have that, and we don't have that. But you're never looking, let me say, behind what can come on with that as well. And now it is also that we talked also about the volcanic ashes that you will have in your world. And with volcanic activities, also the temperature in your world are getting deeper and fall down. And now it is like on which places, because you are just, let me say, communicating with your tools that you have, the supposedly behavior of volcanic activities. They're supposedly activity on what you think that which volcanic eruption can just deform what place, but you don't understand the activity of the volcanic placements which are not seen by your eyes, but are on frequency starting to move and starting to produce and starting to rebel. Yeah, I need to say it like that.
Ja, ich glaube, ich verstehe sie. Das ist ja die im Erdinneren auch die Tätigkeit, die wir auch mit unseren Messgeräten nicht unbedingt erreichen.
Exactly, because you have everywhere techniques above in the sky and in nature and in the atmosphere and in the universe. And now you think that everything which is on this, let me say, tracking codes, you can speak about nature deformation or formation. And now nature has just a different plan.
Ja.
Now nature just say, well, I don't care about your technical instruments. I just get active on that place, just get active on that place, and I just get active on that place. What I want to say that with your knowledge as human being, you're activating tools. You're activating tools to be informed about nature events or natural events. And what we talked also in the episode before that, we talked about the circumstances. If you are internally growing, you understand also what frequency mean to the world and to nature, because you understand to go with it, to transform yourself with it, and to develop yourself as human beings with it,
Es wird zum Eigenerlebnis.
Yes, and now you are like expecting, because the tools are telling you that there it can be an earthquake, because you have this kind of agreement with some surfaces and plates that it must be here. But now the activities are getting completely different, and the rules are changing. And it's something which you have, and you created your tools for it, but now different measures are coming out, and you are lost in reading that measures.
Ach so, das ist quasi die Messungen komplett verwischt. Also auch nicht, sie können gar nicht so tief ins Erdinnere eindringen, als auch in die Atmosphäre. So weit kommen wir nicht, weil es so eine Komplexität in sich birgt, die diese Messgeräte niemals erfassen.
Let me say that the tools have been made for the moment of how the world is designed. Let me say it like that. Naturally that way, like it is right now. But now things are changing. The activities are completely, they go in a different direction. Now you want to know what is the different direction, because you can't explain the different direction, You need to have it black and white. What's the different direction? It goes a different way. Just simple to say, it goes a different way, and you are just overwhelmed and surprised. That's why I'm saying that it goes just a different way, and you are not understanding why it goes like that. So what I want to say is like nature will surprise you. Nature will surprise you the positive way and also the negative way. That's what I started before, to tell that what is a surprise for you and what is not a surprise for you. So there will be places where it will be a surprise that things are changing for the good. And this is what you need to understand, because you understand activities of the earth's activities. It doesn't matter what it is, you understand it always as
destructive.
Exactly. And you don't understand it as something positive. So the surprises, exactly.
Enorm kreativ.
Exactly.
Sprich, diese Aktivität ist ein Heilschritt der Erde.
Yes, and this is the problem. As I want just to it's like giving you a specification of what happened, to not be surprised that things happen the way they need to be happen. And you know that human beings are just putting themselves into. It's like putting yourself into a tool that it must be like that. So an earthquake can't be a 12 or a 13 on the scale, because that's just not, that's impossible. But who says that this is impossible? So you're limiting nature to be like it must be.
Ja, um es in unsere Maßstäbe hineinzuzwängen.
Yes, exactly. Why a 13 can't be...
Oder es sprengt es schon.
Exactly. Destructive if the things after that it can and will be positive in many ways, and you are afraid, because what people is thinking is, if the world is so destructive, you are losing lives, you are losing homes, you are losing a lot of things because you don't want to lose. Nature can't just be destructive and surprise us that way. This is the problem that you have in your world.
Yeah. Yeah.
But think about that it can be completely the direction that the surprises can be positive in the ongoing what nature creates afterwards. If it is in animals, if it is in new landscapes, if it is in a different water quality, if it is, in an agreement, let me say, with more green in the world, with this magnific mathematical terms behind it. And this is what you don't want to understand as human being.
Ja. Wir wollen es in diesen Zuordnungen, die wir uns als geistige Hilfe quasi geschafft haben, als Instrumentarien, um es zuzuordnen, wollen wir es behalten.
Exactly.
Und somit tun wir es natürlich sofort negativ auslegen, weil es uns beängstigt.
Yes.
Ja? Aber die Natur als solches und auch wir Menschen, also fangen wir an mit den kleinen Kindern, wenn wir rausgehen mit denen und die laufen in eine ganz andere Richtung, als wie ich jetzt gerade spazieren gehen möchte, das ist eine natürliche Regung. Ich kann ja Ihnen nicht immer nur sagen, wir müssen nur in diese Richtung,
yes.
In die eine gehen.
Exactly.
Weil das Kind zeigt intrinsisch in sich, da ist es noch spannend, hier gibt es noch etwas zu sehen und
nature
zu entdecken.
Nature is the same. You can really say nature is like a little child or a baby.
Yeah.
It has its own rules when it wants to cry, when it wants to sleep, and
Und wie es reagiert. Ja, was es zeigt.
Exactly. Now you need to be put a focus on that nature will be like a baby because it will transform and it will destroy, but it will also give.
Yeah.
It will also give.
Ja, es ist immer beides. Immer
and it will
zwingend.
Give. Yes, and
es geht ja nicht verloren als solches.
Yes, and you understand now also what nature has done with all the millions of years to put many places out of ice, that people could live there. So it was the forces of nature that people just could get just a different landscape, that you could just put seeds, that you could just grow things. You had in periods also. Years and hundreds and 200 and 300 years ago, different places where you had more water, you had less water, you had places where things grow so easily, and it was always, let me say, the deformation of nature. And it was always a place where people lived together and they put their forces together to live in those places and to support each other also in those places. This is what I want to say. Yeah. They supported each other also in those places. Now what you're doing right now in your world is not supporting you with what you have.
Richtig. Ja.
That's the problem. And now you get in a different
Verhalten damit.
Now you get into a problematic time where you think that what you have, it's only you. But now nature is just giving you, let me say, I would really say like a link to say, open that link in your world and you will see that it's not that much that you thought. You have to think differently or you have to move away.
Ja, bringt uns die Konsequenz unseres Anspruchs sofort wirklich, also legt es uns vor die Füße.
Exactly.
Oder rafft uns mit irgendeiner Welle mit hinweg.
Now you're surprised why nature is acting like that. That's why I'm saying you have the positive surprises and you have the negative surprises. And you're surprised why it is like that because you had it all those years and it was so normal. And now the good thing is on a different place, something different grows in a bigger way, and they are surprised also very much. And why that should be negative. That you understand that being surprised about the acting of nature has its simplicity of taking and and bringing and giving, but not the way you human beings wants to have it.
Ja, ich glaube, das ist diese Verkommenheit, die wir uns angeeignet haben, dass wir auch die Welt nicht mehr bewundern, die Erde nicht mehr bewundern. Es ist wirklich eine Qualität, was ja ein kleines Kind in alle mit sich bringt, ganz intrinsisch in sich trägt und auch offenbar zeigt, lebt. Dieses Wundern als solches. Somit habe ich auch keine Erwartungen. Die sind in diesem Augenblick, lösen die sich auf, die Erwartungen. Und das heißt nicht, dass ich nicht plane, nicht hinschaue, nicht fokussiert bin, nicht einen inneren auch Drang habe oder ein verändertes Interesse als der Nachbar. Aber ich wundere über all das, was geschieht insgesamt.
Yes, and now nature has its really own terrific, I need to say it like that, terrific exactly plan where and what it needs to do, that you're surprised about the logic of that communication, because the world, nature is communicating with human beings, and it says, well, now we are doing that, but this gives also this as consequences, and you as human being are just looking too much on what it is right now. It is destroying my life, it is destroying that place, but they are people and other agreements, they are bringing things to those places. Now it is in which eye you are looking at it as something positive, as a surprising, as a surprise in the positive way, or a surprise in the negative way.
Yeah.
So now you need to understand that the world and human beings are something fluently go with nature. And this fluently go with nature is what will just get on now, starting also this year. Fluently go with nature. When you go fluently with nature, you understand, everything. But if you want to be not mobile, to go fluently with nature, you're lost.
Yeah.
That's so simple to say.
Yeah.
And I think we really did a very gratitude to tell you now also in what you're in what you need to be focused also, and in what you can, because you are expecting always that nature is giving and bringing you, but you're never expecting that nature can also take things away. Yeah. And this is the big difference in all that.
Ja, das ist eine große Neuerung für uns, mit der wir überhaupt nicht gerechnet haben, aber die so heilsam ist, die so immens wichtig ist, damit wir uns weiter, also dass die Erde weiterhin besteht, atmet. Sie wird sich nicht plafonieren lassen.
It is not the plan of planet Earth. Nein. And it's not the plan. So it is like it is not the plan to say, well, planet Earth is not a mummy. Mummy, it is not, made only from stone, and that everything will be stone. It just works, and it works its own way.
Oh ja, und diese Transformation, sprich die Kommunikation der Erde ist eben so ein Wunder.
Yes, well, and animals. Yes, and you're always surprised in your world why some kind of
Tiere aussterben, aber auch wieder auftreten.
Well, or you are also just like, why this kind of fish is in that area and it shouldn't be here. You're just like surprised about how it's deforming itself.
Ja,
why
und wie schnell.
And why a fish and even an animal can't just choose where it wants to be. So who has the right to tell to the animal, you don't have to be here because I want to take a swim. I want to make my vacation on that place. And now nature is just telling, well, you don't have to tell me anything. So you need to understand nature talking to animals in frequency that they understand, the excitement of the changing and what it's changing. And animals are close to nature speaking. And you need really, exactly, and you need to understand the nature speaking through nature and animals. And that's what you're not doing. So you prefer also to shut to animals instead of saying, why is this animal just here now? And this is the big question that nature will just ask on human beings. If you are going to go on with that, let me say, thinking of what nature should bring and give you, you will be surprised the negative way what will bring and show up, But if you really understand why things are differently, and you want always to have it in black and white, that's your problem. But because you are so focused that you have really to write down every movement of nature.
Ja, wir betrachten das Ganze nicht.
In 100 years, nobody wants to understand the movement of nature because those people living in 100 years will be so, let me say, affected and also be, let me say, living with the natural path. They don't understand and they don't need to know what you're writing down because it's not for them. They are so much further in their knowledge. And what you need and why you need it is because you can't do it. You are not with the nature. That's why you need to have everything in black and white.
Ja, das ist eine treffliche Bezeichnung von diesem Zustand, an dem wir festhalten und in dem wir nicht in Kommunikation gehen mit unserer Mutter Erde, mit der Natur, die uns umgibt, auch mit den Pflanzen, auch mit den Tieren. Diese Art der Kommunikation, warum adaptiert so ein Tier viel schneller, als ich es mir denken kann, bis ich das wirklich aufgeschrieben habe, notiert habe, der Welt gezeigt habe, ist die Population des neuen Fisches im Meer schon gestiegen und gestiegen. Die Verhältnisse haben sich längst verändert und es ist im Grunde genommen nicht mehr von Interesse, wie viel es da anfangs wo gegeben hat. Davon.
And the thing is that
es ist das Ganze aus den Augen verloren.
Exactly, and this is what human beings in previous times, they were good in that.
Ja, das ist so.
And you lost completely you lost completely as human being the sense of living with nature. And this is really the danger in which you are in today. So you are creating instruments to read nature. So it's excuse me to say it, it's a little bit ignorant. Because you understand nature as something just, with, let me say, with the surface, you can't really go into the frequency of what really nature wants to tell you. You can't get into that. Yeah. You need to understand the frequency as we are talking now to you. Yeah, then you can understand it. But this is not something that you learn at your universities.
Nein.
That's
unmöglich. Das lerne ich nur im Sein.
Exactly.
Ja, in der Verbindung, in der tiefen Verbindlichkeit mit all dem, was um mich herum eben auch wesenhaft anwesend ist. Es ist anwesend. Es ist wie Teil
and it's
von
not
mir.
Spooky,
Nein,
because
überhaupt nicht.
You don't have
real.
to think that you have to. Nature is not spooky. Nature is just giving clear answers. To human beings.
Aber wir lesen die Zeichen nicht.
Exactly.
Oder wir haben sie auch mit Absicht verlernt.
Yes, and now you're surprised. You're surprised about the much water you get into your world, about the much fire that you get into your world, the much earthquake that you get in your world, but the much everything, And this is what we really need and want to say. don't ignore the signs, because the signs are really giving you also the impulses to change, but to change also the way that you should really look much, much better to the speech of nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is that many places which are right now in your world are full of, I would say, life, and people are living there. In the next 120 years, many places will be completely different, and they lose people, and there will be also no people living in some places. And sometimes it is not just, a little village. Sometimes they are like big cities, because nature is just bringing you a different answer where you have to move.
Und zwar eben mit den Kräften, mit den Naturkräften.
Yes.
Das sind andere als die wir planen,
yes,
als
exactly,
Menschheit.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not in 120 years. It will, or it started already, and it goes on. So it is like, and don't think to make insurance for that, because nobody will just buy the insurance, because people get also smarter and say, I don't need an insurance if I want to be mobile.
Yeah.
So it is just like, don't think that the insurance is holding back the act of nature.
Yeah.
Very important.
Ja, es klingt wie so ein Gesundheit.
Bless you. Bless you.
Ein Comic.
Yes.
Dankeschön.
Yes. Yeah, it's not a comic, by the way.
Ein Fantasy-Comic auf sehr sarkastische Art und Weise. Ist es nicht so?
Yes.
Was sich da wie zusammenbraut, ja, in unseren Köpfen. Und das ist wirklich... es hat nicht mit unserem Leben Leben hier auf der Erde direkt wirklich wahrhaftig zu tun. Und da verstehe ich Ihren Hinweis immer wieder.
Yes.
Auch auf diese, auf diese Völker, auf diese auch anderen.
And it doesn't matter, if you think in your world you have good people in your parliaments, or you have people just telling and being, on the right side, on the left side. It doesn't matter. Nature doesn't care. Yeah. Nature just transforms what it needs to transform it at the time when it needs to transform things. So you are just giving yourself, you are just... it is always discussions in your world. Human beings are always discussing about things instead of reading. It's like reading the newspaper of nature. Yeah. And it's not that you need to have a degree for that, because millions of years ago, and also 5 million years and 1 million years ago, people didn't have an agreement with a university to read nature. Richtig. They just knew it. They intended, they read the signs.
Weil sie damit lebten. Eben unsere Vorfahren hatten gar keine andere Möglichkeit. Und ja, wir haben uns andere Werkzeuge erschaffen in der Zeit, diese ganzen Entwicklungsschritte auch.
But it will
das
not
heißt
help
aber,
you to go on. It will not help
das bedeutet
you.
Das nicht zeitgleich, dass das wirklich auf Dauer für uns ein Fortschritt ist.
It is,
wie es immer war, wenn Entwicklung sich zeigte, wenn wir Entwicklungsschritte gegangen sind, dann hieß das ja nicht, dass das für die Ewigkeit verhält.
Exactly.
Und dass wir uns diese Freiheit auch als Gesellschaft auch wiedergeben, diesen Raum zu öffnen, dieses Interesse, dieses wahre
and it's
Interesse.
needed because it will not be like you had it until now, and you feel it already in many places in the world, but you're still not seeing it. You're not acting. You don't want to see it, and you're not acting. And now nature is just going on. They don't care about you. No, so it's like. Nature is nature. Yeah.
Oh ja.
And it doesn't care what you think and who you are.
Ja, eben. Und diese wunderbare Kraft. Ich meine, wo Wo sonst? Denn in unserem Leben dürfen wir die erleben. Wir dürfen damit kommunizieren.
Yes, but you're walking with closed eyes through the world.
Scheuklappen und sehr verschlossenen Augen und Ohren sinnen.
Yes.
Ja, wie Sie
Just
das sagten.
Improve yourself in understanding nature. This is really something which is needed for you, for the upcoming, not even need to say the upcoming generation, because the upcoming generation will be much less people than you have now. And we always told that it will be less and less human beings in the world, also because nature is just really, let me say, nature has also in it, even human beings are nature, and the nature way is not to be that much in your world for the upcoming many years. So nature has also that plan with you human beings.
Was ein wunderbarer Plan.
Yes, it is. You know, you can't have a conflict with nature if you would understand nature. So you would just accept it. And now you have conflicts with yourself and putting other people into danger. You're putting other people into bad words, into bad positions to act also the negative way because you don't want to understand. So this is just so simple. But what is simple for us, it's not simple for human beings. This is the problem. So I just need and can tell you, be as simple as possible and go as simple as possible through your world, and you start really to understand nature and to open your eyes and to act in the manner and matter that nature is teaching you what you need to be taught for. Yeah,
Danke.
This is very important.
Ich danke wirklich für diese weisen
Yes, it is, you know,
schenken.
it has always also the plan of being what it needs to be, and don't make yourself and don't give yourself as human being that much importance in your world. That's the problem. The importance of human beings, and nature doesn't care at all. And this is like something which will get on in surprises, on the positive or the negative way, but it will go on in surprises. That's why it's not only snow during summertime or snow during summertime in some places, and hot weather during winter days, you know, in some places. Just be really open to what the signs are and act like that. That's what we can say. You know, surviving on planet Earth is something which is, it's not just there to take and not to be responsible. It's important, So thank you very, very much. Lots of good and nice surprises for everybody. But look and listen also to the words of nature and to the influence what nature, you know, you have influencers in your world. Everybody wants to be the best and communicate, you know, the nicest way. Now nature is influencing you in your world, and you should just really look at it as well. So thank you very much, and hear and listen to you and speak to you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.